do the second interview in my What's Your Big Idea interview series. So I did an interview with Ola Youssef from Cairo last week. And today I have a lovely lady from England, Tamsin Abiola. And I know Tamsin for quite a while now. Tamsin is an ex-detoxer from one of my detox programs. She was introduced to me by Irene Tracy. Hi, Irene, if you're listening, doing Smovie stuff. And Tamsin has recently come back into the group, and she's doing my What's Your Big Idea course, which is a free course. I'm itchy on underneath my, why does this happen when you start an interview? Everything just starts to go. So, okay, I'm okay. She started my What's Your Big Idea course, which is a free course that I'm running to help people get online. Basically get online. And one of the reasons I wanted Tamsin in particular is she's focused on a really fabulous idea. And she's having, I suppose, this kind of struggles as most people do when they're getting into online quite new. And I want to sort of, I suppose, have a really open discussion about the challenge that can present themselves, because some people will sell online as, you know, a panacea for everything. It's going to solve all your problems. It's going to be really easy. And whilst it is straightforward, there are some hiccups that people go through. And I think Tamsin is a great example of someone who's pushing through the hiccups. And her idea is fabulous. So we also want to get some feedback from you guys on her idea. So if you're a parent, stay tuned, because she's up to some interesting stuff. And we want to help, I suppose, inform Tamsin's idea, which is part of what we do in the What's Your Big Idea course. So I'm going to bring Tamsin up. Tamsin, it is so lovely to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
We were just joking before we came on, which was the same conversation I had with Ola before we went live. Makeup on for the first time in a long time.
Yep. Fresh.
Living the dream from home. Just weird stuff. It's weird times. And tell me, so why don't you, I've given a bit of an intro, but why don't you let the listeners know a little bit more about you?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Dee, again for having me. So my name's Tamsin. I am a stay-at-home mum. I was a serial corporate before I left. So I left probably about 4 years ago with the idea of going alone, becoming an entrepreneur full-time, and then also starting a family. And I was naive, I suppose, in the way that I thought I could do everything at once, and I had no idea how much I would change when I became a mother, and how my priorities would change completely. And I didn't want to work 12 hours a day and have my daughter in nursery. And so for the first 18 months, I fought it. I mean, I felt horrific and useless for probably 8 to 12 months, that I couldn't do anything. I was sleep deprived, and baby brain is real. I never thought it was, but it's so real. And I just kind of, managed to finally pull myself together with many people around me. And I thought, well, why can't I actually work with my daughter? Why do I have to work 12 hours a day to create an income? I know I don't. And I thought, not many other mums, I'm speaking for mum, but parents in general, think that. You are not taught that. You are taught you must do one or the other, or you can only make money if you work hard, which you do have to work hard, but you don't have to work hard 12 hours a day for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to try and bring that to parents. Most parents that I meet in play groups with Zara, what do you do? Oh, I don't do anything. I'm a stay-at-home mum. That actually is something, just by the way. I don't come across many parents who go, well, actually, I do this because I've got 3 or 4 hours during the day and I can do. Parents, put themselves down quite easily, and it started to make me mad. I thought, right, I'm going to try and do something about this.
I love that.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
I love it. And it is, you are right, that most people have, that's what we call it, a limiting belief that to start up a new business requires 12, 18 hours and, you know, an unlimited amount of time. And some do, but not all of them. And it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. So when we were talking about your idea first, I think what's very specific about what you want to do is allow parents to parent in whatever way they choose they want to parent, and find a way to generate income that fits into so it's really parenting is the priority, and the income slots in nicely to that. Would that be correct?
Yes. So you work around your children. You don't fit your children around your work. In essence.
It's a stupid question to ask you why that's important to you, but let's ask the question anyway. Like, why?
Oh, yeah. Well, I always wanted to be a mother. Ever since I was small, I've always loved being around kids, and I've been very maternal. But it took me a while to find my husband, so to speak, or him to find me, whichever way. And then we had a couple of years where it was just us, and then we thought, come, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth, let's have children. And it changed my world completely. I can't really bear to be apart from her. Which may, to some people, that's not the way they work, and I'm not here to say that everyone has to parent this way. I'm just saying, if you do, you feel like you can't contribute. And for a long time, everything rested on Dio's shoulders, and I kind of, I wanted to be able to give to my family, but also be part of my family, not be away from it all the time. And I don't think until you actually become a mother, no matter what level of self-awareness you have or what you think you know about yourself, everything changes. So until you actually make that leap to parenthood, full stop, actually, not just motherhood. So I think it's just, I want to, that's why it's important to me, because I want to be at home. I want to see her grow. She's now talking like you wouldn't believe it, but I hear her first words, and I was there for her first step, and all of these milestones that otherwise you quite possibly miss because you're at work. So.
Just hearing you talk about her, there's nothing like a mother talking about their children. And then like, I don't have kids, and I joke, I'm not even sure that I like them, but there's nothing like how a mother talks about her children. It's very lovely. It's very lovely.
Yeah.
So before Zara, the time before Zara, which probably feels like I don't know how long ago.
Lifetime.
Yeah, a lifetime ago. You were very active from a lot of perspectives, but certainly when we met, you were doing all sorts of things. Would you share a little bit about that?
Well, I remember, I joined the detox. Irene introduced me to you, and she said, don't come at this unless you're serious, because it can change your life. I know she took a lot from it, and still is taking a lot from it. I think she still works with me, but I remember that my first priority on the list, on the blueprint at that point, was to become pregnant. So I knew that having a family was huge to me, but at the same time, I still wanted to change the world. And working with Irene with smoothies, I think they're a huge tool that can help people with neurological conditions, but people can find that out through her. And I wanted to set up a charity, and I wanted to do conferences. I just wanted to do everything. And at that point, I was still in property, and I was still, learning to forex trade at that time. Yes, I've just started learning 6 months in. And as far as I was concerned, the world was there for the taking, and I had everything that I could do to do it. And and then and then I became a mum, and I questioned everything that I did, from waking up to going to bed. So I've dabbled in lots of different industries, from catering to hospitality to property to construction to, goodness, what else have I done? Well, I did smoothie with Irene. So I've a jack of all trades, but what do they say? What's it? Not a specialist.
Master of none.
That's it.
Do you know what? And I hate that phrase. I absolutely hate that phrase. And I think, frankly, it's BS. Because to be I think it's a quite old-fashioned thing that you have to just choose one thing and be good at that. Whereas that doesn't apply anymore. You can be multifaceted and multi-skilled and be a jack of all trades and be a master as well. So to hell with that phrase.
Master of all trades.
Master of all trades. I prefer that we're masterpiece and works in progress at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've talked about your Forex stuff, because as a person who doesn't consider herself to be good with numbers, just foreign exchange, like even doing currency conversions on the website, which have to do frequency, I'll be frank, I still don't understand how any of that works. And if up is good and down is bad, or is it vice versa? I'm not sure. So what attracted you to doing Forex trading from home?
Easy money.
Easy money. Oh, two of my favorite words.
Yeah.
Is it easy money?
It can be. So that's how it was sold to me. And at that point, I just left the financial services. So dealing with money didn't phase me. So I'd got over that hurdle, which I think is what a lot of is a barrier for a lot of people, is they don't actually understand how it works. But in all fairness, the less you understand, the better you are at it, because the less you can psych yourself out of what you actually should be doing.
No. Yeah.
So I got, that's how I was sold into it. And yeah, and then I bought another course where I learned even more, and I was thinking, this is great. I can do it around family. I can do it wherever I want to in the world, because at that point, my husband and I, we were traveling all over the shop, making the most of not actually having a 9-to-5 job. And I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, and then reality kind of kicked in, and forex trading isn't just as easy as just placing a trade. You actually have to have quite a good relationship with money, because you're trading money. And lots of people think, yeah, I love money, but most of us don't. Most of us are taught that money is the root of all evil. You have to work hard to have money. So how can it be easy? Because that's just not right. You have to, like we were saying, you have to work 12 to 18 hours a day to be successful. And if you don't, then well, lucky you've got a silver spoon or something like that.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I refused to work properly on my mindset, because everyone kept on saying to me, my coaches in Forex, saying, there has to be something wrong with your relationship with money, otherwise you will be succeeding. Because I knew all the technological bits, I knew all the instruments, all the indicators, I could tell, I could spot trades, and the coach would say, yes, so why didn't you take that one? I was like, well, I just managed to talk myself out of it. So they're like, so there is a problem with your relationship with money. I was like, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. I'm fine. Because I always have to be right. I'm starting to try and push that to one side. And when I finally actually started to really look at my relationship with money, back to when you were given pocket money as a child, it's that significant. Then did my trading actually change. And recently, the last 3 months, it has kind of been easy money. But it took a while.
I think everything does, doesn't it? Yeah. We have to get out of our own way in anything that we're doing. And I think, like, our money mindset comes from our parents. And mom and dad, if you're listening, that's why I'm so good with money. But it's the lessons that we learn at home as kids, whether we should save it or, and hold on to it, or like you said, whether it's the root of all evil, or are rich people greedy and, not to be really looked up to. So, yeah, I think it's very interesting how your mindset can, whether you're Forex trading or any kind of business, like even in the group that we're in, on the group coaching calls, it's not that people don't have an idea. Actually, they have more ideas than they could ever deal with. They know how to do video. They have the brains to do everything, but everyone psychs themselves out going, I'm not good enough.
I'm not really good enough. Yeah.
And I think, it's the not good enough seems to be the actual root of all evil in new business owners. It's just judging ourselves, right?
Well, you peg yourself against other people, but actually I think when you meet other people that are successful and you actually get to know them, they have exactly the same struggles that you do. They just hide it, or they don't talk to everybody about it. Of course, they'll have their close circle.
Yes,
but,
totally. That's why I think I've set up all these groups. This therapy for me.
Well, I mean, you're amazing. Like I said to you, I wouldn't be where I am now without having chatted to you about a month ago and having a finger wag. And also I don't think I'd even be brave enough to talk about how rubbish I felt as a mum without all this mindset training that I've done around Forex trading. So I mean, everything complements each other. But yeah, sorry, I'm starting to waffle. I was going to go off on a tangent.
No, you're not waffling. Is it fair to say your confidence has taken a hit since becoming a mum?
Yeah, I've never felt as low as I did since becoming a mum, which I think is the most ridiculous thing, because the fact that you've grown and given birth to a child is just awesome.
Yeah.
And then you go through the sleepless nights and whatever trials and tribulations you have. It depends on how you feed, or whether they're a good sleeper, or if you have help, and but everyone says, oh, are they not doing this yet? Are they not doing that yet? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And you question everything, every single thing that you do, from the moment you wake up. Well, I would say until the moment you go to sleep, but you don't, because you're awake through the whole night as well. So even at night time, you're like, oh, why are they waking so often? Oh, I must be doing something wrong. There's something wrong with my milk, or I haven't burped them. I mean, it's just non-stop.
Yeah.
And I felt, when I was in London, my dad would come around every day because my husband had to go to work. I was so lonely that he would come and sit with me every day, just be in the house, just have someone else there.
Yeah.
And it was just, overwhelming. And if I can help even one other mum or parent who's in that not feel like that, I'll be happy.
I love it. Which segues perfect. And I can see Ruthie Purcell is on and she's saying hello.
Oh, hi,
Ruthie. Ruthie will be totally resonating with this. New mom, working from home. Ruthie's rocking it. And Caroline Barden is on saying she resonates with you completely. Thank you, Caroline. So it's perfect. And it's a perfect segue into Motherly Misfits, which is sort of your new endeavor. So tell us about more Motherly Misfit. Tell us about that.
So I think when I finally almost woke myself up, gave myself a few slaps around the face, and realized that I just had to, I tried to find myself again, I guess, was I kind of realized I didn't fit anywhere. I wanted to, I've said it, have my cake and eat it. I wanted to be with my daughter as much as possible, and also work and earn a living.
Yep.
And I was like, right, how am I going to do this? Initially, Forex trading was the answer. And it, like I said, in the last 3 months, it has helped. It has actually brought in an income. But I thought, well, actually, why do I just want to solve it for myself? Like I said, after talking to so many mums in playgroups and on Facebook forums, when you can see mums just reaching out because they are so desperate and feeling so low that they're not achieving anything. I thought, actually, I want to try and share not the revelation that I've had, because as you said, everyone's still a work in progress. I'm not the finished good. I'm not someone who's pulling down 6 figures every week by working 1 hour a day or something. But I tell you, I will get there. And I want to show other parents that it can be done, and they don't have to choose between the two. If you want to see your children, you can see your children.
I love it.
That's where it's come from.
So one of the challenges then you've been having, so you've set up Motherly Misfit is the page, and you can see, guys, you on the ticker below, you can find Tamsin, follow her on her Facebook page, Motherly Misfit. But you've also set up a group.
Yes.
And what's the group about?
So the group is where I almost want to create a community, a supportive community for parents who are wanting to find a way to work from home whilst they parent full time, or at least 3/4 of the time. So either almost like a one-stop shop for everything that you might need to get that started.
Yes.
But I'm having real trouble gaining traction, as you mentioned, I think in your intro, starting from zero, because I was kind of what should I say, indoctrinated that maybe Facebook was bad. God, don't share too much information, this, that, and the other. Your life is in the ether anyway with everything that we do.
Yes.
So I've kind of what do you call it? Is it not my prominence or my visibility? My online visibility was this. And I thought, well, how am I actually going to get to parents unless I can engage them? Because most full-time parents, you don't really see them unless you see them at playgroups. And at that point, they actually just want 10 minutes of downtime and have a cup of tea whilst their child is playing. They don't want someone going, so would you like to join me in business? Would you like to do this? they just think, oh my God, this woman just leave me alone. I want a quiet cup of coffee. So this whole awful situation that we find ourselves in now has presented an opportunity to me where more people are at home and online. And it kind of, especially with the big idea that I did with you, it fell in line that I should try and contact people online, and try and create a community that way. But it's hit a little bit of a brick wall. I mean, I don't know if it's because I don't know how to write questions, or I started, as you've suggested, joining some bigger groups and trying to add value. But I don't think I've hit the right group yet. In fact, I don't even think there is a group where lots of mums go, because mums aren't told that they can work and have children or be with their children. Exactly. So there's it's really hard to find the people that I might be able to take on the journey with me, because they won't necessarily be there yet. But if I can show how I've managed to literally just change my mindset, like I said, I haven't got to the end yet where I'm earning a fortune and seeing my daughter. But so that's kind of all the problems that I'm having now.
But on the bright side, though, how many Facebook Lives have you done?
I think I'm up to about 10 now.
And that's in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3. I think I started on the 1st of April. Would you believe it?
1st of April. 10 Facebook Lives. Do you want to share? Because in the What's Your Big Idea group, for those of you who are listening, and I know Ruthie will remember this, one of the biggest terrifying things is I force people just to get on video, start talking to people, get comfortable, and there's real resistance and genuine fear about doing a video recording, let alone a Facebook Live. So why don't you share with everyone, how has your Facebook live journey been?
Oh, it's terrifying. First one, I look back at it now, it's very grainy, and I chose to do them at night after Zara had gone to bed. So this is 8 p.m. at night, once I've been up probably about, 16 hours, and God knows what I actually look like. But here we go, world. This is me. This is actually what motherhood is all about. And first one, I think the sound wasn't so great, and the lighting was awful. This is actually the first time I've made sure that the lighting is good for you. I thought, right, I walked around the house, saw where the lighting was best. For the first week, I didn't plan them. That's another way that I've tried to get in my way and self-sabotage, is I haven't actually done what I know I need to do, which is plan the content. Because why would I watch someone if I'm not actually going to learn anything from them?
Yeah.
But I've done that as well. And yesterday was the first time that I forward planned for next week the content that I'm going to do. And so it's been the highs and lows. And the first one, of course, got loads. Well, I don't say of course, but I don't know how the algorithms work on Facebook, but it got loads of views. And then subsequent ones are much lower. And so then I got disheartened, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is rubbish. So, all those things that come through your head, and I'm not good enough. And they don't think, why would people want to listen to me? Why do, and that, all of that goes through.
That goes through. And I think that this is the truth for many people, and what is not said online. I think social media gives us an idea that once we set up our group and we go live, it'll be viral. It'll be exponential, and there's the only way is up, where that may happen rarely, and if you throw a lot of money behind it. But for most people, it's like a chitty bang bang kind of engine. Sometimes it pops, and sometimes it goes sideways, and sometimes it stops. And it can be really disheartening when you're sort of putting everything out there and all you're hearing is crickets. Yeah.
And especially when I don't really have much time in the day or even at night. And in the last few nights, poor Zara's been up goodness knows how many times. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. So the days are kind of cross-eyed, and the 1 or 2 hours that I do get, I'm plowing into this, and I'm thinking, I'm getting nothing back because it's so flipping annoying. Don't people realize how hard I'm actually working? And but everyone's in the same boat, so.
We are, and that's one of the reasons for everyone who's listening, whether you're live or recording, part of the What's Your Big Idea course, the 14-day program, is to one, help people come up with their idea, but also help to get feedback on it. And sometimes if you're not getting any feedback, it's impossible to know whether you're on the right track or not. And I think that's where Tamsin is stalling. Her idea, I think, is fantastic to help parents who want to focus on their parenting, be able to create an income. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But people can often be weird on Facebook. Like, we don't always like the stuff. We don't press the like button, even though we like it, or we're watching it and we don't comment because maybe we don't want to. But for the new entrepreneur, it's like a death knell to your motivation.
Yeah.
And I think what would really help Tamsin right now, particularly from parents who are interested in working from home, or just even maybe just interested in the idea of it, to join the group and watch what Tamsin is doing and give feedback, and maybe just comment on what's working well and maybe what could be tweaked. Because again, we don't know what to tweak unless we're told, you have someone like me go and change that or do this differently. But then I'm not a parent, so I'm not Tamsin's ideal audience. And you can't give feedback to a mum unless you're a mum, right? So for those of you who are listening, it would be great for you to have a look in at Mother Misfit for sure, but also the group, which you'll find in Mother Misfit. So how do you keep yourself motivated then while you're going through this bumpy phase?
My daughter keeps me motivated.
Aww.
I want to show her that she can do whatever she wants. I mean, that's something else that I want to do after this, is I want to create a whole new kind of way of schooling children where they're not boxed and graded, and if they don't get an A in maths and for some reason they're stupid, but actually maths isn't the be all and end all. So showing her that you can do what you want, as you want, and when you want, is really what it is. And also my husband, he is a support. He challenges me, which is good. Like when I first came up with this, he's like, right, are you sure you actually want to do this? Because it's going to be hard work and you're going to be putting yourself out there. You're going to be really visible and vulnerable. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. And then I was like, what, are you telling me I can't do it? And he's like, no. So it's, so he helps as well, because he shines a light on the things that I don't want to address.
Yes.
As well, which you need. And then otherwise, I think I've always been quite motivated. I've always been a pushy person. Mm-hmm. And I remember one of my friends, when I was in one of my deepest days, and she came around to have a cup of tea with me, and she said, Tamsin, I can't understand how you're like this, because all you ever want to do is try and bring people up to where you are and bring out the best in people. And I try and remember that. And I think, actually, yes, I want to try and show people that they can be the best that they want to be. And if I can't do it, how can I show them to do it?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it's probably the fact that you can be honest about not being able to do it will make people want to follow you more, because we don't want to follow the people who've got their, they've got their lives together and they're coming from their big houses and loads of money in the bank. Like, I don't want to follow anyone like that. I want to follow someone who is equally, if not more flawed than me, ideally more flawed, so I can feel better about myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it's another showstopper for anyone who's listening and thinking about doing something new right now, whether it's a new job or a new business or new anything. If you try to wait until you're ready and have got your ducks in a row, then it's procrastination, because you'll never have all your ducks in a row and you'll never be totally ready. You just have to lean into it and just take one step and then another step and then another step, and all of a sudden you are where you want to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's, like I said to you, I was worrying about this, and I remember you saying lean into it, and I thought, what's the worst that can happen? It's all right. Go on and be honest. And the fact actually that I haven't had any preparation or anything like that means that actually I'm not even, there's no filter, which is sometimes a bit terrifying, but it's just kind of coming out as it is. Like say, you just need to try and be yourself.
Absolutely. So what's the goal? What are you working towards?
World domination.
Way, excellent.
I'd like to create a huge shift. Like I think someone called it a paradigm shift. in the way that people view parenting. It's not, yes, it's a game changer and it does change your life. No, I'm not putting that to one side at all, but it doesn't mean that you then can't earn an income. So changing the view of how people see parenting versus working. Why can't you do the two together? Why can't it be flexible working? You can work from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be at an office. So I'd like to change the view of parenting and working together is the long-term goal. Yeah.
How will you know you've achieved that goal? What will be different?
What will be different? I probably won't need the group that I've set up anymore because people will be doing it themselves. I won't go to any play groups with children, although this will probably be a long time in the future, so my kids will be grown up. But I tell you what, my daughter, when she has her children, and I am assuming on her behalf that she's going to, she automatically, she doesn't change anything. She prepares for motherhood as any mum would, but then doesn't think, oh God, I'm not going to be able to work anymore, I'm not going to be able to do this, because there are so many opportunities for you to be able to parent and work that it doesn't even cross their mind. That's when I know I'll have got there.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I hadn't thought about that yet. You caught me right on the hop. I was like, oh God, I don't know.
This is why I don't prep for these interviews, because I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth question-wise. So talk about winging it. I think we all are, and we're best when we're unprepared, because we have to rely on our intuition and our natural ability, which we all have in spades. And I can see Frankie Burke is on. Hey team, hi Frankie Burke from New Zealand is in the house. So for those of you who are listening and have fallen in love with Tamsin, like I do every time I'm on a call with her, and you'd love to assist in helping her get feedback and support what she's doing, which I think is just an amazing cause, please respond to the video, join her Motherly Misfit page, look at the group that she has, share this video around, particularly with parents, because I think they're going to resonate most with wanting to obviously parent and create an income from home in a way that just is perfectly cool for them.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share before we finish up?
Just thank you. And anyone who's questioning about going on the course, don't just do it. Don't procrastinate. It's a game changer. It really is.
You're sweet. And you can sign up for the course. Members.deehutchinson.com. Come in. It is free of charge. And the What's Your Big Idea course is free of charge for the entire Corona pandemic. Then I'm just going to charge people loads of money for it because I have a business. I'm not meant to say that during COVID, but and there's also free business coaching twice weekly.
Which is priceless.
Jump on. Yeah, and it's good fun, and you get to meet a lot of people from all over the world who are, I think, making the best of a shitty situation, but also being really inspirational and funny and vulnerable and creative and all the good things. So feel free to join in. And Caroline is saying she could listen to the two of us all day long. Caroline, thank you so much. I'll be continuing to bring on amazing people like Tamsin who are doing amazing things in really amazing ways, even though they don't believe they are amazing. So it's my job to highlight the brilliance that is going on right now. So thank you to everybody for listening in. Thank you for the comments. If you're watching the recording, like, comment, share, join Tamsin's group, and I will be back again next week with another fabulous person. So have a good day, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Dee. Take care. Bye-bye.